Here are some tips on leash work when your dog keeps pulling, but we got surprised. And I ended up doing a pop for reactivity rather than pulling. But Lucy's really struggling staying with me. She's quite the leader, not good at following. And it was definitely too much. I did not intend to be in the thick of things. So, you know, we moved to a different spot. But I can still show you the technique because it's the same when she's pulling. See, that was the pop. And look at her reaction. Looking at me. Good girl. We keep going. That was not forceful. It was fast. The pop and release was fast. And I popped a loose leash, not a leash that was tight. That's really the key. If your dog is pulling, you have to give slack in the leash and then do that quick pop and release. And see if your dog starts to pay more attention to you and hang a little closer to you. It might take several in the beginning, but when it starts going good, you can just start to do normal turns rather than this step back and then pop the leash. So what do I mean by that? You're going to see both. These are normal turns because she's doing so well right now, but you'll see the other two. So if you've done some work, but your dog is still really struggling, understanding to be next to you, I need you to get yourself in a position where you can have a looser leash, not where you have to hold them back because they might jump out into a busy street or react to something, potentially bite something. And this is what you're doing. You're doing turns and you're doing sudden stops. And you're going to see if your dog cares at all about you when you turn or notices when you stop. Okay? So if your dog doesn't notice when you stop, when they're about to hit the end of the leash, you're going to do a little wrist action, pop and release back at the same time and counteract that forward momentum. And then they will start to notice when you stop. And it's really up to you how loose that leash is, how much leeway you give them. But I encourage you to give them a lot of leeway, like the full 6 foot when you first start this. And then ask for less and less as they naturally close in the gap. Now with the turns, what I suggest you do is you have your arm calmly down by your side, or if you have a really loose leash, you can hold it at your waist. And you're going to start to turn. Dog doesn't notice. See, pop and release. When the dog starts to hit the end of the leash because they didn't notice you turned, you're counteracting that momentum by a little tweak with the wrists. And see, she definitely looked and noticed I was turning, but I jumped the gun right there because I really wanted to show it in front of the camera. But that is the technique. I just jumped the gun a little bit.
I just wanted to show.
Yeah.
It's like your rock back isn't what's quick, it's the snap that's quick. So you kind of ease back. There it is. You kind of ease back.
Okay.
Otherwise she'll notice your movement, right?
So here's the slow motion of that. I kind of ease back into my turn. She doesn't notice. Pop and release, turn, and walk. Okay? So it's very fast, very crisp. Doesn't matter if it's a small dog or big dog. You do it the same way. If it was a less hardy dog, I would definitely have my arm down by my side because the angle would be more horizontal for such a small dog or a smaller, more sensitive dog. But she can totally handle the way that I'm doing it right here.
Do a hard stop. I probably needed a little more slack on that. Let's go.
So you yank.
Just a wrist kick back if I need it.
Okay, so you yank it as you're moving.
I didn't really need that one, which I told you. I was like, you didn't really need that one. You know, give her a chance so you can kind of figure that out.
Okay.
Oh yeah, on the rock back, it's like, yeah.
You're moving and then you yank it.
So for this, it's the stop, and if she hits the end, I just kick my wrist back. On the rock back, I kick it back this way as she hits the end of it. So it's like that double force. But I actually don't have to yank it because she's hitting the end of it.
Oh, okay.
As I'm doing the same pop. And it's about speed, right? It's about speed. Then I can grab a little closer, go back to e-collar. And then the other thing you're gonna have to do more in this neighborhood than in mine, because it's her neighborhood, is if she's also really, really struggling with heel, stop asking for heel and go after the sniffing, because that's what she wants to do. So first tell her no sniffing, because that's more behavioral, and you're asking for heel. It's like, first you got to go after the behavior, if that's what it is, which she keeps grabbing things as she's walking, which is par for the course for her, especially if she's just seen a dog. It's like tap for going after stuff, and then normally she'll put herself back into a decent heel.
Now, I'm only showing this clip because I just want to make sure I cover my basis, that we do a lot of leash guidance work. We teach the dogs how to turn pressure on and off, and sometimes we use food as well whenever we're working on obedience or occasionally tough nervous scenarios. So there's a lot more to it than just the pop technique that you saw. However, to cut through a dog that is really, really drivey and moving away from you on the walk, that pop technique can be a crucial step in being able to really get through to your dog so they are listening to you and you're able to teach them more about guidance and how it feels better to hang with you rather than be driving away from you.